speech in English for the Rav, please, Michal.
What's the name? בשבילי הוא נשמע ציפה בת ברכה תהיה מנוחתה בגן עדן העליון, אמן ואמן. We're in the midst of Chodesh Elul, the month of Elul. The month of Elul, Chodesh HaRachamim HaSlichot, when Hakadosh Baruch Hu comes, God's always close to us, but when He shows even more closeness and more opportunity to get close to Him, and it's a countdown to the days that we come to Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. And the goal of Chodesh Elul is not to go every morning to Slichot and sing songs you don't understand. It's to be practical. And I'll explain you what I mean. The Chafetz Chaim Zecher Tzadik Levacha, I heard this story from his daughter. Once spoke in his synagogue before Ne'ilah. Before Ne'ilah, that's a serious time, right? Everybody's very serious then. And everybody was expecting the Chafetz Chaim, he's a big rabbi, a holy man, he's probably going to give them musar and shake them all up, right? That's what they were expecting. And the Chafetz Chaim got up, and he turned to the Kahal, and he went one by one to each guy. He said, maybe this year you learn 1 minute a day Torah. Maybe this year you do one bracha with kavanah. Maybe this year, this is before Ne'ilah. And everybody was looking at what the great Chafetz Chaim is going to people. So finally, one of his students couldn't take it. So he stopped him. He says, Rebbe, you're coming to us to add 1 minute Torah. Tell us what we got to hear. It's before Ne'ilah. We want to know. We want to know what we have to hear. So the Chafetz Chaim said, you got it all wrong. He said, the Yetzer Hara's trick to get a guy to fall into the garbage is to tell him to become something that he can't be. To be the greatest giant overnight. And it's not realistic. So then nothing comes out of it. He says, so he grabs him in greatness. He says, I'm coming to you with practical things. Everybody could learn 1 more minute a day. Everybody could learn 1 more Mishnah a day. Everybody could say 1 Perek Tehillim a day. At least something should come out of this Yom Kippur. And now we're ready to start Ne'ilah, and we started Ne'ilah. What's the mashal to this? So the mashal is really an actual story that happened. Many of you, I'm sure, knew that I had an uncle that was a very big tzaddik. His name was Yagen, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh V'Bracha, Zechutei Yagen Aleinu. A real giant. So he used to spend most of the month of Elul in America. Believe it or not, every year. He said because in America they need chizuk and that. He used to come to, and he would go from community to community all over, the West Coast, the East Coast, this, Midwest, everywhere. He would fly place to place. Sometimes he would say 5, 6 speeches in one day. And that's with flying in the middle. Unbelievable. So one day, when he was getting old, he wasn't so old, but he wasn't well. Well, they knew he passed away very young from cancer. He still insisted on coming and going around. And he went to Los Angeles. But he didn't want to go alone. He told me, Yaakov, come with me to Los Angeles. I need somebody to be with me in case I don't feel well. I need somebody with me. So we went to Los Angeles together. And there we stayed by a guy, by somebody's house. Very nice people, achnasat orchim, unbelievable. And we got there, we took a flight that left in the evening. We got there, there's a time change. 3 hours later we got there. There was no time for a darash that night. So the plan was we were going to sleep, rest a little bit, eat something, in the morning go to slichot, and then speeches all day and fly back. When this big rabbi came to the house, of course it was a big simcha, a big celebration for the family. So the whole family was awake, even the youngest kids. Everybody was awake, they made a big table. The rabbi came to the house. So we sat there to have something to eat, and then my uncle turned to the balabai, to the father of the house, and he told him, what time is slichot tomorrow morning? So he said it's 4:30 in the morning. So he said, perfect, 4:25, we'll meet downstairs, we'll go together in the car. He had a son, 5 years old. I remember the boy's name, Moshe. His son told the father, I want to come. He's 5 years old, what I want to do. So the father told him, 4:30 in the morning, you're going to be sleeping, my friend. No, he says, Daddy, I want to come. It's back and forth. Suddenly the boy starts crying. What does it mean? I want to go to synagogue. You're not going to let me go to synagogue. And he's making a whole fuss. My uncle's there. He says, ask the rabbi. If the rabbi says you could come, you could come. So my uncle turned to the father and he says, I don't want to mix into your parenting. But one of the basic rules of parenting is if a boy already wants to do a mitzvah, never tell him no. Even if it sounds crazy. Because today you tell him no on this mitzvah, when he's 17, he's not going to want to keep Shabbat anymore. So the kid says he wants to come to Slichot, even though it's crazy. So I'll miss school, big deal. He'll come back home and go to sleep. Wake him up, let him come with us to Slichot. The father woke him up. 4:25, we go into the car, we drive to the shul. 4:30, Slichot. What a Kiddush Hashem. Packed synagogue. It was a Persian synagogue. Packed. People as if it's the afternoon. This boy sat down. He's tired. 4:30 in the morning. After 1 minute, he put his hand like this, and he was out cold sleep. He slept through Slichot, he slept through Shachrit, he had such a good sleep. Unbelievable. You know, we say it's Ben Adam Malach Nirdam. He was Nirdam, all the way Nirdam. Out cold. At the end of Shacharit, we had to leave. We had to start going to breakfast speeches. So his father, woke him up to take him in the car to bring him back home. So on the way back to the house, my uncle whispers in my ear, I want to see if this boy is honest or not. I'm going to test him now. So he turns around to the boy. My uncle was sitting in the front, I was sitting in the back with the boy. Father was driving, and he tells him, Moshe, did you say slichot? Did you pray today? And the kid's quiet, and after 30 seconds he says, Rabbi, I'll tell you the truth, I forgot. I forgot. So my uncle turned to this 5-year-old, and this story stays etched in my brain in ELUL all day long, every day I think about it, almost like obsessive. And he said, I want to tell you something that today you won't understand, but when you get older, if you'll still remember it, it'll help you in your life. I said, what? He said, there was once a lady who her husband called her up from work. And normally guys are not so good at calling their wives when they're at work. But some people have the brains that, you have a few minutes off at lunch. Call your wife, see how she's doing. And the woman's in Ishat Shirah, she tells her husband, how's your day going? Yeah? He says, don't ask, I'm having the worst day of my life. My boss is yelling at me, everything's going wrong, I can't get everything bad. So, what's the wife supposed to do, right? She can't come take him over at work, it's not going to help. So she tells him, okay, at least it's already 1 o'clock, you're done work 5 o'clock, a couple more hours, try and be strong, push through, you'll come home, you'll rest, you'll relax, you'll clean your head up. The lady, as soon as she hangs up the phone, goes running to the grocery store. He said, if my husband had such a hard day at work and he's coming home, the best way to get the guy's heart is through his stomach. I'm going to feed him a good supper tonight, all the foods that he likes. Maybe he'll be in a better mood, he'll be happier, it'll give him some nechama from his day. And she went to prepare a feast. All the foods and the meats and everything that she wanted. Put everything, the ingredients, the this, the that. Did everything. Put it all in the pots, put the pots in the stove. Now, some of these foods take a long time to cook. She gauged the time perfectly with a timer when they have to, everything. So, husband comes home 5:30 from work. He's in a mood, shalom eda. And she comes to him with a big smile. Honey, welcome home. I know you had a hard day. I cooked you all the foods that you love, the best of the best of the best. He says, oh yeah, what? Now he's interested suddenly. All his favorite dishes. Suddenly a smile on his face. He says, so she says, sit down, I'll bring you food. He says, no. I'm starving, don't worry. Quick. He goes to the stove, he opens up the first pot, and his eyes became black, dark. What turns out? She cut the vegetables, she prepared the meat, she did it, she put it in the pot, she put it on the stove, she did everything. But she forgot to turn on the fire. And now there's nothing to eat. And my uncle told this boy in the car that day, he says, my dear boy, son, he says to me, you're like a son, all Jewish children are like my children. My dear son, you should know that many people go 30 days, 40 days to slichot every morning. I don't have slichot. They do kaparot, they do this, they do that. They give everything they do. And we'll take you look at the guy, and he's the same person as he was 40 days ago. Nothing changed, maybe even worse. He says he's not a bad person. So what went wrong along the way? He forgot to turn on the fire. He forgot to remember that all the ceremonies are just ceremonies. The main thing is what actually happens inside. The Eisha Kedusha, what's going to burn inside the Jewish neshama, that a person should grow spiritually, that a person should change. So the greatest Ilui Neshama that we can do for a woman is not to make feasts and not even the brachot and everything else. Is that when we come out on Motzei Kippur this year, at least in one tiny thing we should be better. One small thing. And I want to give you a piece of advice, and with this I'll end because I have to go speak upstairs, that I got from a great rabbi that maybe you heard his name. He passed away a few years ago in Bnei Brak, Michael Yehuda Lefkowitz, Zechat Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha, from Yeshivat Ponovich. Gaon Olam, Gadol Hador, there's no way to describe in words how great he was. And one year in ELUL I was in Israel, and I went into him for a blessing, Shana Tova, blessing from Adam Gadol, it's a big thing. And then I told him, Rabbi, what do you think I should take upon myself? Now, what do you think I should change? And I was waiting for him to tell me to learn an extra hour a day, or I don't know what, Tutani Dibur, or this. That's what I was expecting, right? We're talking about one of the greatest Torah giants ever. And he looked at me, he said, Yaakov, if you want my advice, this is my advice. He says, in Halakha it says that after you use the restroom, you wash your hands and you make a blessing called Asher Yatzah. He says, most people confuse the blessing of Asher Yatzah with Filat HaDerech. Those were his words. He says, they wash their hands and they're running to the car, and on the way, like a half a bracha, as if it exists, as if it doesn't exist, they mumble a few words of Asher Yatzah. He says, my advice to you is take upon yourself that with every time you say Asher Yatzah, you stand and you don't move. I said, Rebbe, that's it? He said, Halavai, you should merit that you should stick to that your whole life. And if you did that, your life was already worth it and you accomplished it. Unbelievable. So that's my advice to you. If that's what Michael Yehuda told me, I'm just giving you the same gift. Let's take upon ourselves the Ilui Nishmat Tzaddik, and in Gan Eden this will help in the biggest way in the world, that we should be makpid, first of all, to say the bracha of Asher Yatzah. Today you can get it in every language. There's no excuse for anybody. You can even have it hanging in your kitchen in every language. But when you say it, stand straight. Think, Hashem gave you health, and you're saying thank you for your health. I think all of you know people that were with us last Rosh Hashanah that are not with us now, and I'm not talking about people that are 90, people that are 30, 40, 20, and so on. We are here to say the story. We are healthy. The minimum we could do is show God respect and say thank you for the fact that we're here to say the story, that we're healthy, that we're able to say the story. Besides, Chazal say that if a person says Asher Yatzah B'Chavana, it's a protection, it's like an insurance policy, that he's going to be healthy his whole life, that he won't have medical problems. So it's a, and how long does it take? What, 15 seconds, 30 seconds? How long does it take already? It's not, we're not asking you, and this doesn't have to do with what religious level you're on. Some people tell me I'm not on that level. I'm not interested. I don't care what else you do in your life. It's not my business, and it's nobody's business except for you and God. And whatever you do. But this is a simple thing. We take a bracha, we say it seriously, and we thank Hashem for the fact that we're actually healthy and here to say the story. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help in that zchut. B'vadai, it'll be a big Ilui Neshama for this great woman, and she should be a Melitz Yosef from Shamayim on the entire family and everybody who participates. And we should hear B'sarot Torot b'meira, Amen v'Amen.